Okay, this is the recording for 4.1 slope. Okay, slope. Okay, we can use this one and use this one. Okay, so slope. Of course, slope is when we talk about line. Okay, now this whole chapter, chapter 4, we will talking about lines, and you have you studied linear functions and equations in Math 9. So this is basically just a review. Okay, so what is the slope of a linear equation? So this means how steep, right? How steep the line is, and also the direction. All right, so now we take a look at this review. This is a positive slope, this is a negative slope, and this is zero slope, and this is undefined. Now the followings are just trying to make sense with you the why this is a positive slope, why they become a negative slope. And again, we did this in grade 9, but this is just review. Now in this section 4.1, this is the first thing we are going to talk about. Okay, so if a graph is given, then how can we find the slope? Now that means, you see, as a graph is given, here this is a line. Now how can we find the slope? Well, the slope means the definition is rise over run. So it's rise over run. So if, for example, if you have same run, okay, so if another line that has the same run, but then it goes like that, this line goes like that. So now you take a look at that the same length of run, the height, you see here, the height versus, if I use another color, the height versus this height here for the other line. So if the other line is this red line here. So the run is the same, but this one is much higher than the blue one. Therefore, this slope is much, much steeper than the blue. So that is why it is a rise over run, to see how far it goes, how high it goes when it is over the same length down here. Okay, so then in this case, if the graph is given, then it's very easy to find the slope, because you can find the 2 points that is right on the grid, which give you a very correct reading. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that also means from point A to B, you're going 6 higher. So 6 higher, and you're going to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So because here going up is positive, going down for rise, so this is for rise, and then going down is negative, and for run is going right is positive, and going left is negative. So 6 over 4, then your slope is 3 over 2. All right. You can take, here it just says you can take a different segment. I mean, you can go from A to C, but you counted them, the ratio will be exactly the same. Okay, so now let's take a look at what is a negative. So negative is now if I pick this point and this point. Now from D to E, I came down 1, 2, 3. So therefore, it is a negative 3 for my rise, and then I went right, which is the positive for 4. So that therefore you're negative 3 over 4. It is your run. All right. Now the second one, it is that there's no graph given, but, so this is our second point in this section, but no graph given, but ordered pairs. What does it mean, ordered pairs? Means that on this graph, there is this coordinate, you know. So this coordinate is, what is this coordinate? This is negative 3, 1. So negative 3 and 1. Okay. And then this one, the coordinate is 1 and negative 2, 1 and negative 2. So if this two ordered pairs is a given, and how can we calculate the slope? Okay, so right away they said, oh, just use this formula. So let's see how this formula came about. So the formula is that if this is x1, y1, if this is x2, y2, because it's different, right? So this is x1, y1, and then this is x2 and y2. So then the difference between the 2y over the difference between the 2x, then that is your slope. So if we try to prove that, because the slope is rise over run, right? Rise over run. So now take a look at here. So from this point to this point, so what is a rise? This rise part here. You see this rise part? So this is, because this is for this 5 is the y value. Now for this point here, the 2 is the y value, right? So this means for this 2 here, this is a 2. For this 5 here, for the 5 here, this is a 5. Now, what is in between here? What is this in between here? This here, the green one. Of course, that is a 5. This whole thing subtract the 2. So that's 5 subtract the 2. And that is a rise. Now, similarly, for the run, your C is a 4. So that means this whole thing for the C is from here to here. This is a 4. Now for your B, it's a 2. So that means that this one is a 2. Now what is the green one here? Because the green one is we're looking for the run. You see this? This is our run. So this run is definitely 4 subtract 2. Well, then you got your rise and over run. Then that is this formula. So now basically plug this in. So then if you wanted to pick this dot and this dot, you can treat this as a 1, this is a 2. That's okay. So you treat this as a 1, now this is a 2. Then you can use negative 2 subtract 1 over 1 subtract negative 3. Okay, because it's y2 subtract y1 over x2 subtract x1. So then this one is negative 2 subtract 1 over 1 subtract negative 3 because positive 3. So then that is negative 3 over 4. It's over here. You can change that. You can treat this as a 2, second point. This is a first point, if you give you exactly the same thing. Okay, now the last one. This is absolutely in grade 9. We just finished. I just finished classes with grade 9. We talked about the line with zero slope. So this is a third point in this section. So if a line, it is a horizontal line, then the slope is 0. Why? Because you have 0 rise. If the line is going like that, at least you have a little bit of rise. But if it's completely flat and there's no rise, the rise is absolutely 0. Therefore, you have it's zero slope. But when it's a vertical line, you see if it's a vertical line, you have such a big rise, but you have no run. You have no run here. If any line, it goes like as steep as this one even. But at least there's a bit of run here, right? But here, when it's horizontal, you have no run. Means you have no run, the run is zero, then something divided by zero is undefined. Okay, so this is a 4.1. Thanks for watching.